This is the Hubble Gets AFL show. My name is Nick Ryan, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels for the mailbag. Let's do it.
Straight into it, this episode is brought to you by Woodside Energy, a proud major sponsor of the Fremantle Football Club, supporting local footy from grassroots to greatness. All right, Hayden, Kanga. Who will be the first coach sacked this season? Well, who's down the bottom? So it's not going to be Clarko, it's not going to be Uze, it's not going to be McWalter.
I think there's a blue jumper that might be...
The obvious answer is Vossi.
Yeah.
A bit of a navy one.
And I think coming from who wrote the message, I think that was the answer that they were
As a Blues hater.
Well, just a North supporter.
He's a North supporter. James, why did my parents get me to barrack for Essendon? Existence is pain. It's tough.
You can pick your own team. You don't have to do what
So
you
Xavier used to barrack for Essendon, and all he did to get out of it was get drafted by another AFL club.
Yeah,
So
do
there you
that.
go.
Do that.
Do that.
Or get a job at another AFL club.
That'll work.
There you go. Just get a job there.
Move to a state that doesn't care about
Or
football.
have a cousin or something get
Move
drafted.
to Sydney or something. You know, get out of the little pod of footy which is all around you. Chris, hey guys, just want to get your thoughts on the Pies. Are we playing our best footy at the wrong time of year? I'm worried that if we don't win it this year with our ageing list, the fall off is going to be catastrophic. Do we have another chance next year before we drive the Camry off the cliff? And can we save ourselves with some quality list management? Cheers, Mitch. Well, Nick wrote him off 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Remember he did that
waiting.
video. We're on top of the ladder. He's talking about rebuilds.
He's been waiting for
It's
this.
coming. The cliff's coming.
Yeah, it is. But how many flags in between?
Well, they'll probably then get in like 9 guys.
So-
as
so
free
Well, that's
agents.
the thing. They're a destination club, and I think we need to start looking at clubs differently, like Geelong and Collingwood.
Yeah, they don't-
it's going to be
doesn't matter.
easier for you to assume now that they're always going to be okay.
Yeah.
They're never going to be bottom 4.
No.
I just don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there will be a cliff, but because of who they are, the infrastructure they have,
The games they're playing,
where they play, the games they play in,
cash in the bank.
there's just it's going to be okay.
Tell you who's going like a busted ass though. Dan Houston.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 disposals on the weekends.
Is that just a role thing,
50%
or is it
game
just
time.
you know?
50% disposal efficiency.
Well, he was Port's 4th best player. He's not Collingwood's.
Yeah.
That's the problem. No, I wouldn't be too worried, Chris. The best footy at this time of year is a little concern. Sydney just weren't able to maintain that till the final siren last year, and Brisbane peaked at the right time. So we might see that again. Corey, given the recent conjecture about what constitutes a carton, for the purposes of paying a debt, I come to you with a binding, foolproof alternative. Only lawful gold and silver coins in common circulation can be used to extinguish an account. Failing this, Save must accept an IOU promissory note. Yours sincerely, Warren T. P.S. I am not a crackpot. Very good.
That was interesting playing out last week.
Yes, yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
it just?
That guy's on the board
I
of
don't
an
want
AFL club.
I don't want to say anything because
No.
I don't want to end up in the court.
Yeah.
But my goodness.
It doesn't matter if the result goes the other way. 'cause
If
I did
I'd
say
say what,
Koshy
not enough
come out-
gold and silver in circulation.
Koshy came out the next morning. He was like, no, he does a great job on the board. I was like,
if I have to eat the ass out of a crab, I am probably going to slap an IOU on it.
There's not enough ass crabs in
Yeah,
circulation.
better than the player
At this
itself.
time.
'cause,
Oh, yes.
You know, we were heading for that.
Yeah.
Belangula fever. How shagged are the Blues? No money, long deals, no picks, and their ass. It's true.
Yeah,
It could have
well,
been worse when Wiedering went down holding his knee.
That was bad.
And they don't have their first round pick this year either.
No, they
Ooh.
don't. Although West Coast could have had that and decided
West Coast could have.
to take Hawthorns instead. Harry, can Zave please write off Brisbane on a weekly basis?
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Can't win it.
Brisbane cannot win the premiership. There you go. That's my weekly.
Rod, if ruckman aren't important, why are West Coast so crap without a good one?
Well, they got
West
some
Coast
other
is
issues
so
as well.
shit in 18 other positions.
Mitch, with Cozzy out of the picture, who else does that leave Freo chasing this year? Feels like we need to land a free agent. Starcevic or make a push for Rivers or McVie.
Do you?
I don't think any of those guys would be at Freo. Starcevic.
Of those, probably the one you would want is Starcevic.
I'm nervous about Starcevic with the head knock stuff. He's had a few, and he just missed a big portion of time. So I'd be nervous. You know, he's a fantastic player.
And there's that
Fantastic.
lady in the crowd chasing him, trying to marry him.
Well,
as
maybe
well.
he would want to get out of Brisbane.
He has to leave.
Rob, it seems the word is Eagles will get pick 2 for Oscar Allen, earning $800K elsewhere. If Tom de Koning earns $1.5 million elsewhere, what pick would Carlton get? Pick 1? I can't find the rules for this anywhere. Tom de Koning is a free agent. So what happens is you get it after your pick. So in their case, it'll replace the pick that they've lost.
So they still hold that pick though, do they? So it doesn't fall. Imagine if
Well,
it
yeah,
fell.
actually-
Imagine if it fell after pick 25 or something.
It falls where their pick should have
Well,
fallen.
yeah, and
Should
that's
have
why Hawthorn got
So it'd
pick
be-
18 for Buddy.
So where are they going to finish?
Pick 19.
They're going to
19.
Carlton will still finish like 11th or something. So they're going to get what pick
I don't
8
know,
or something.
you reckon?
Yeah.
Which will push back. but still not going to be what you'd
So
want.
you'll
for
get
Tom
your
De
conversation for Tom De Koning will be picked 15 or 15 or
Koning.
something.
He'll
whatever.
bang around there.
Yeah.
Alex, is Logan Morris a forgotten forward? His 5 goals last weekend were on Sam Taylor, whilst Aaron Cadman got all the raps for kicking 5 goals on a makeshift backman in Eric Hipwood. Morris is only in his second year and he's kicked 25 goals for the year, 4 more than Cadman, and only behind well-established forwards. We gave him his flowers.
No, we gave
yesterday.
Morris a
This
pump
must
up
have came before the weekend too, because he's not feeding.
Adrian, is it too late for Cam Rayner to make a run for All-Australian? 19 touches, 3 goals, not bad. Is this
Tell me
you?
about it.
Is this you?
That's not me. To Josh.
Riley,
Josh will
has
tell you.
Cam Rayner finally made it as an A grader?
These people just know.
This is the Nick segment
Yeah,
of
They're
this
coming
is-
along.
Q&A.
Rayner was good. I'll give him that.
He was good.
Sorbet weather. Teams in the worst position from a list perspective for when Tassie hits. All right, so that's going to be 2-3 seasons away.
St Kilda, Carlton.
Well, Carlton's probably the worst because you don't want to be in the middle right now. And if you think in 3
Falling.
years that Cripps, Curnow, Wiedering are all going to be probably just still there, but not at their best anymore.
No,
And so Jagger Smith is their prime
Their one,
guy.
yeah.
He's done his ACL, so
which we haven't seen.
we haven't seen. You want to be getting kids in the door now. So you say St Kilda, but at least St Kilda are getting picks.
Yeah, but I just still
Maybe
don't buy
more.
what they're doing.
No one does. No one ever will. You want to be awful now,
Yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
probably Carlton.
I wrote today in my column, if you're going to be bad, you may as well be really bad.
and now is the time to do it for sure.
And maybe even like Port.
yeah,
Port are in about the same,
that's
same
fair.
spot.
Yep, Port Adelaide. Yeah, and they're going to be. The problem is with Butters, Rosie,
Melbourne.
Horn Francis. They're going to be a little bit too good.
Yeah.
Jekken, can we get an audit into why and how Essendon let Pat Voss go at the end of 2023? Wins their BNF at VFL level, 20 years old, then delisted at the end of the year. Seems mind-boggling. Love the guy and what he brings to Freo. Can't understand how Essendon whiffed on this one unless I'm missing something. Cheers. A lot of talk. I was doing the 7 broadcast the other night, and all the guys wanted to know, is he dodgy? Like, why did they do it? Because
Yeah.
they couldn't work out why Pat Voss can do this at Freo and win the BNF at Essendon and get cut. And they just kept assuming that something
But
had to
Pat
be wrong.
Voss last year wasn't very good.
No, this is a perfect storm.
Yeah. Pat Voss last year was no good.
But if he won their BNF at the VFL, he must have had a pretty
Yeah,
good
but
season.
maybe he played 23 games and,
Yeah.
most players play 10 because they're up and down.
Yeah.
And
I just think perfect place, perfect timing, player of consequence.
Gee, they got up him after the game saying that he's only doing it for Instagram likes.
Yeah.
Luke Ryan was like, he's only doing it for Instagram likes.
Connor, can we get an audit on how a lot of audits on how Ollie Henry kicked 41 goals, couldn't kick 41 at Snezzer at the moment?
Yeah.
Hey, couple of snares.
41 is a. Remember, what did you thought? We thought he kicked like a goal a
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
41.
Yeah.
Jacob, Zave's son, All-Australian squad at least.
Yeah.
I think squad.
Has to be.
Yeah,
I think
squad.
He's been a bit. Ski 1977, High Legends. Why don't more clubs try to pry players out of their current club with stupidly high dollars and contract lengths like St Kilda are doing with TDK? The Eagles are reportedly looking to offer Chad Warner $1.4 million of multiple years, so they have a war chest. Why don't they offer Josh Weddle, Wardlaw, McKercher, Lawson Humphries, John Newcomb, Sean Manor, all players out of contract in 2026, 30 to 50% over what their current club is likely to offer them. At the very least, it puts significant pressure on their current clubs to offer the absolute maximum, putting pressure on their cap. Best footy podcast out there.
Oh,
I must admit, I do like it when there's a big offer on the table and they choose to stay the player because you know that they haven't left a penny on the
Yeah,
table.
yeah.
Like they've really sucked the life out of their own club.
Agreed.
Like an LDU, I think Hodgie was pretty critical of that, the way that contract played out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think it's a smart move. But you got to make sure you want him though, because you
Yeah,
might,
yeah,
you might,
you might get him.
you might get stuck with him. If you're going to give Sean Manor 1.4 a year, you might end up,
Yeah.
you might end up paying for it. Chris, if you chucked Freo's list in Collingwood's system, would they win the flag this year?
They might win the flag in their own system this year.
oh,
Oh,
geez.
look who's on the purple train.
No, you guys say it, and
Choo-choo.
you're envious that you didn't jump on when I got on.
That's not what's happening here. Tyler, in 2023, the Melbourne Demons AFL list was managed by Tim Lamb. This is about.
Oh, this is the
your
trade,
Harrison
the Harry
Petty.
Pettyman.
In 2023,
So what was it?
This is
in
the
tw- in 20
Pettyman people.
Tim Lamb was managing Melbourne. Their list at the time.
Pettyman.
The Petty.
Oh, the petty
sorry.
trade.
What is that?
I was like,
Pettyman.
Pettyman.
I was thinking Perryman.
Yeah.
The Adelaide Crows list manager was Justin Reed.
Yeah.
He's sent an AAP article in. Demons rule out AFL trade for Harrison Petty. Melbourne list boss Tim Lamb is adamant Harrison Petty won't be playing elsewhere next year despite interest from rival AFL clubs.
Is Tim Lamb still at Melbourne Demons?
Well, he is. He is. He just
Oh.
gave Cozzy that 1.4 a year. I think he gave Clary his deal. He obviously is a high risk, high reward guy, Tim Lamb.
No, it's
I
not.
kinda
It's not because that's no risk.
Just get it. Let him go.
Bryce, voice message.
G'day, lads. Hardball Gets Pod and Backyard Ultras, two worlds I wouldn't have thought would collide until listening to this week's pod, and I heard you guys chatting away about them. I was running the Hurdy backyard a couple of months ago and thought I was hallucinating when I saw the X-Man standing there in his Lululemons in the darkness, clapping everyone along. Since you guys seemed so into them, I thought you'd be interested to know there's a race in New South Wales this weekend. I think it's called the Dead Cow Gully on the 21st of June, where a Kiwi bloke is hoping to break the world record and run 1,000 kilometres, which will be for about 6 days.
What?
I recommend you guys follow along with that.
That's amazing. And so did you know the other quirk in this is that you can only go as far as your runner-up. So you can only do one extra lap after second has dropped out.
No, you got to be able to keep going.
No, you can't.
Well, this guy's who's going for 1,000.
Yeah, so someone has to go 993.
Surely
That's how the ultras work.
Yeah, but you're talking out your ginger there.
That might be a different race, but that's how the ultras work.
Oh, so that's what it's called. It's called a backyard ultra.
So for the 4 days, like for the normal ones, you can only do one extra lap. So you have to hope that one of your mates will just go, all right, I'm nearly dead here, but I'm going to keep going.
Actually, talking about running, what about on Friday night? I was sitting on the couch and got a ping from ING, something being paid for. And I was like, oh. And what's this running shit you just bought $300 or something? Because like you've done your marathon last week. You can't possibly get another pair of runners.
It's a photo.
Anyway, then I get bing, look on my emails. Perth Running Club or something. I have to do. She signed me up to run the half marathon.
The Perth Running Festival.
Yeah, that thing.
Hey, beauty.
Half marathon.
Interesting. That's very good. What date is it?
That's a good question.
It's in October, early October.
October like 13 or something, maybe.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it with me?
Maybe. I'll have a look.
Mate,
at
it
the
raises
dates.
money for telethon, so you're probably already doing it.
I'll have a look at the dates.
Well, shout out.
Should
Why
do
don't
City
we?
to Surf first, though. That's a very good one. We love the City to Surf.
I love
is an
it.
outstanding event.
When the next herdsman one is, why don't we do like we'll find someone and we'll sponsor a good runner.
I thought you said
We'll
we were going
sponsor a runner.
We'll sponsor a runner.
I thought you said
no, I'm not.
we were going to run it.
Yeah, I can run it. Be knocked out after 2.
Yeah, Perth Running Festival confirmation number. It's a 7 sponsored telethon thing. It is Sunday the 12th, and I'm in the wave.
The back wave.
1 hour, 15 minutes
Yeah, you could do that.
to 2 hours, that window.
It's an excellent
Hold on,
event, the
hold
Perth
on.
Running Festival.
1 hour 15 to 2 hours.
Yeah,
2 hours is pretty quick.
I'll get that.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
confidence.
everything will be popped.
Mate, I was hungover doing them the
yeah,
other
but
week.
how long did you take?
2 hours 4.
2 hours and 4.
Yeah.
21 Ks.
Yeah.
Done.
They'll get under that easy. I'll do it hungover without a drop of water.
We're going to have to do carton bets on this.
Actually, we'll do a carton or whatever. What do you want?
Not yet.
Over under 2
Not
2
yet.
house.
I need time to think about it.
He needs to
All
get
right,
a
Carton
record.
of beer, mate. It's bloody $50.
No, I want to win one, finally.
We know.
Damn.
still
We
owe
know
me.
blowing one carton of beer is a struggle for Rhino.
Don't think I haven't forgotten about you owing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, HBF in the sports arrangement doesn't quite hit the number that we.
All right, Dan, what happens to Gov's salary regarding West Coast Eagles salary cap? Who pays? He still gets his money, and I believe all bar 30%, I think it is, comes off the cap. So they'll get 70%.
Angus Brayshaw's was the
Big one?
Yeah, how that play? Because he had like 7 years left or something.
30%.
Did they manage to get that
remains.
paid outside? I thought they were looking to do that.
Probably.
I thought it was 30%.
Yeah.
That was my understanding.
Mate, but I think
Unless
maybe is the concussion stuff different than career ending?
Maybe. Have a look. Naisha. What would you rather, Logan Morris or Nate Caddy? Oh, now we did this yesterday.
We
I
did
said
do that.
Caddy. You said Morris.
I said Morris.
You
I said Caddy.
Yeah. Nathan, should Richmond give Bolter the rest of the year off? He looks mentally shot. That's an argument. Kyle, Null doing the good work and taking on an apprentice. Great work for future Nulls around the country. So this is an email from Apprenticeship Support. It says, Dear Null, we're delighted that you have decided to take on an Australian apprentice. Before signing the paperwork, there are a number of documents we would like you to familiarise yourself with. And then it goes on and on and on. What do you reckon his trade is if he's taking on an apprentice?
No. He's Sparky. I think he's Sparky.
You reckon?
Yeah.
He always was a bit of a spark plug
He
as a
was
player.
Oh, you guys take the piss. I'm telling you, Null was in the draft.
He's real.
Hey, just quickly.
Well, now he has his own business and he's just signed an apprentice.
Maybe,
good.
Yeah, he's a sponsor of Apprentice.
Give him back.
90% of Brayshaw's contract paid outside the salary cap
90%.
this year.
Okay.
Then it goes to 75% in 2026.
Okay.
50% in 2027.
Jeez.
With the final year having no relief.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
God, that's a bit harsh. That's a bit rough.
Well, I think they assume that the
Braden
cap will
Maynard
go.
has to pay 20%.
I feel like that's rough. I feel
That's
like if
real
someone's out for concussion,
No, I tend to agree.
if a panel says he can't
You
play,
can't play. Yeah.
Yeah.
it shouldn't be on the club to wear that.
Not leg injuries or anything. I'll cop.
pay the money.
bad luck,
But
yeah.
outside the cap.
Yeah, I think if you're medically retired, it should be paid outside.
Peter, premiership fact. Sienna's Leaderville is the secret sauce to a premiership. The Lions aided Sienna's the week before their tilt at the premiership have been a great omen for visiting interstate teams. I feel like Peter either owns Sienna's or...
Were they here?
They're both with the big snozzers of Siennas, man.
Baz,
Yeah,
he loves
yeah,
Sienna's.
yeah,
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 loves
operator.
Sienna's. Yeah, those regular Sienna's dinner. Oh, we go there sometimes with the kids.
Do you?
Yeah, the little playground in the corner.
Yeah.
It's something.
Been a long time.
It's something.
Yeah, no, I don't mind
It's
Siennas.
in a
I haven't
good
been there for a
spot.
couple of years.
Yeah, walk
Bit
up to
of a,
Yochi afterwards.
What's a marinara? Not bad.
Jalapez 1996. Ahoy, fellas. This one is for X and Rhino, since you two are always making fun of Sassy the Sasquatch and his inability to name more than 10 players on an AFL list. Where is it? The 2009 AFL season intro ad in a league of their own will go down in history as the best season intro ad ever. Your challenge is this. Name at least 17 players in 90 seconds, 19 total, who featured in that ad. If you do, it's a carton of single fin each in its original packing. But hold on. Oh,
Do you remember the ad?
It says Nick has the answers. I don't.
I have the answers.
Which ad is it?
The shipping up to Boston where they're in like
Oh,
the ring and
okay,
everything.
Hang on, let me.
Yeah.
John, no, we don't,
I
we
know
get,
the
do we
ad,
get to
yeah.
hear it?
No, you get to hear this.
Then we do it? Yeah?
Yeah,
What a
I know
song,
one.
eh?
I know at least one. Are we doing it together?
yeah, let's do it together.
I know Jonathan.
What is it?
Brown's
Dropkick Murphys, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Band?
Jonathan Brown's in it.
definitely in it.
I would say Lance Franklin would be in it.
Surely.
He just kicked 100 odd.
What year was it?
Yeah.
2009.
Buddy's in it.
Gary Ablett Jr. would have to
Gary
be in
Ablett
it.
Jr.
Yep.
Let's go
Is
through
the clock on?
Oh, so we're on clock.
Tex?
No.
Joel Selwood.
Yeah, well, surely.
No.
No, okay.
Juddy? Is he still
Yes.
going? Yes.
Nick Rewalt.
Nick would have to be in it. Barry Hall?
No Nick Rewald.
Barry Hall.
No Barry Hall.
Can you read faster?
Yeah, I'm going through, mate. No Barry Hall.
Western Bulldogs. Anyone from there?
There was one.
Aka.
Aka.
No.
Brad Johnson.
No.
Chris.
Nah, it wouldn't be Chris.
Right. you want
Ryan Griffin.
One of Brownlow.
Cooney.
Adam Cooney, of course.
Essendon.
Lloydie?
No Lloyd.
Hurd.
Hurd. Wouldn't he be done by then? He'd
No,
be done by
Hurd.
then.
No, he was still playing then.
Was he?
Oh, no, maybe.
Jimmy
I'm thinking of
Bartell?
No Bartel.
Lloydie. Give us a club.
Cyril.
Throw a club at us.
Rioli.
Throw us a club at us.
This guy was Adelaide and Gold Coast.
30 seconds.
Bok.
Bok.
Jesus
Bach.
Christ.
Well done. Adelaide. Oh, sorry, that was the clue.
So Jonathan Brown had a bloke at the other end with very red hair.
Oh, Merritt.
Sauce.
Dan Merritt. Jesus Christ, this is getting obscure. West Coast. Coxie? Curry.
No.
Nick Nat.
Nick Nat.
No.
Shuey.
No.
Hearn. McGovern.
Curry.
Kerr.
No, get off West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Fremantle.
Fremantle. Pav.
Pav. Had to be in it. Had to be in it. How many more is there?
Chad Corns.
Chad Corns.
How many?
So there was, you got,
Yeah, we weren't.
you
yeah.
got 9.
We had too many clues.
So Nathan Bock,
Yep.
Daniel Brown, Jonathan Brown and Daniel Merritt,
Yep.
Chris Judd,
Yeah, we got all those.
Leon Davis,
Neon.
David Hill,
Hilly.
Piss off.
Matthew Pavlich,
Have we got?
Gary Ablett Jr.,
Yeah.
Lance Franklin,
Yeah.
Aaron Davey and James McDonald.
Aaron Dave.
never get
James
James
McDonald.
Oh, yeah, Daniel Wells.
Yeah,
and
okay. Well,
Chad Corns.
Corns.
Deledio.
Lids.
Rewald must have been busy. Kaczynski stepped up for the Saints.
Rewalds. We're unlucky there.
Yeah.
Rewalt did that singing in the change room.
Yeah.
So he said, I'm
With
never
the
doing another
song.
thing in my life.
Adam Goods and Kieran Jack. And then Dean Cox and Adam
Goodsy
Cooney.
was obvious.
Yeah, Goodsy was obvious.
Yep.
Dean Cox.
Oh, did you say Dean Cox?
Yeah,
Dean
so we
Cox.
got 10.
Yeah, so we got 10.
Dickhead.
And Adam Cooney.
So we got 10. What did he want us to get? 17.
James
Far out.
McDonald,
Pretty
264
Pretty good effort
games.
for an ad that was on 15 years ago.
That was the best AFL ad.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic ad.
James McDonald's record at Greater Western Sydney.
No, but
13
there's
games,
no wins.
0 and 13.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Connor, hey, Big Pepsi, Rhino and Nick Spin. These multis have been shithouse for a few weeks now. Why don't you look to choose one leg per week each
Nah,
to
we
do
have-
a combined multi? Minimum odds $2 per leg. Way more interesting and better chance of
Yeah.
winning. Then if someone costs the group, more than likely Nick Spin, we can pin the loss of the multi on the great man.
The only thing is we have to do a same game multi on
Can
different.
we do a group one as well? But does it have to be on the
Throw
same
it on
game?
the end.
Has to be a same game multi, or can we do
Yeah.
multiple
Has to be
games?
same game.
Have to be
Yeah.
same game. Okay. Hamish, can Big Pepsi go full Triple M and work out if Harley is still on the Dersma daughter? On with the Dersma daughter.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Whoa.
He's still on with the Dersma daughter. I
believe
Let's be
so.
clear. Surely the AFLW Eagles can find a spot for her, draft her brother, and talk someone into giving Harley's dad a farm somewhere nearby. Eagles just hand out 2-year extensions to TK. Really not trying hard enough.
Well, if they get jumped by Richmond,
believe they're
Richmond
still-
take it, Dersma.
An item? I
No,
believe.
I think they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Harris, voice message.
G'day, gentlemen. Just wanted to say from the outset, all this talk about old mate being in the tent. Let's be real. A lot of Freo supporters think that the West absolutely hates them. So for Rhino to get good, to be accused of being in the tent, to cultivate those relationships, he's done a top job and he should get a massive pat on the back. Now, my second point is, don't you think NGAs are dumb? The vast majority of kids were going to get drafted anyway. Why don't they just make it 2 non-Australian parents? Doesn't matter where you're born. Thoughts?
Well, firstly, great point in the first part. I'm doing an outstanding job. And second part, yes, NGAs are
Who was
stupid.
that?
The NGAs were brought in to find kids from either non-traditional football backgrounds or remote areas that would otherwise not have the same opportunities to get on an AFL list. Instead, it has turned into technicalities.
Yeah.
It has turnurned into
Yeah, but it
your
was-
mum was born in Sri Lanka 65 years ago, and
But it
because
was
of that,
actually
even though
brought in-
they've both lived here for 65 years, and you were born here, and
We
you've
know
never
that's
been to
not
Sri Lanka
real.
in your life.
And went to a private school
Yeah.
and had education.
And
you're
your,
a
last,
Scotch-
your last name's Motlop.
You play for Subi, yeah.
But it was actually brought in just because everyone was talking about the Northern Academies. Like, it's not actually, that wasn't the real purpose it was brought
We are
in.
heading to a point that if nothing changes, we're going to head to a point in 10 years where there'll be like 4 actual draft picks.
The
And
academies
rest
have gotta
will just
go.
be all academies. Now, if that's how it's going to be, fine. But let's have a separate draft.
Yeah.
Because this is getting stupid.
Well, you know, to even say on the women's side of the game, the Gold Coast and Brisbane still have their academies, despite the fact that Queensland was like the pioneer women's football state and won every state championship and everything beforehand.
Yeah, right.
So it's got nothing to do with the development in the area.
Michael, how did the steak sangers go down? Well, these 2 idiots didn't actually eat a steak sandwich. Even though they were at a steak sandwich
Heard they were
event.
good.
So I'm sure they were very good.
What about I even ordered my wife one who was a vegetarian? And I didn't have one. Not a
Did
bite.
you get the eggplant version?
I don't
Well,
know
because
what
that
she
was
did.
like, was it the 50th one ordered or something? The bloke got a year's worth of free beer.
Don't know.
Ed, the don't believe any history comments from Tyler Hero. Oh, yes. Okay. So remember last week we were saying Nick doesn't believe in history before 1950 and we couldn't
Yeah.
figure out what it was?
Yeah.
I have been since informed that this was about Tyler Hero
Oh, and
saying
the
that he
numbers.
doesn't believe in history before 1950,
Yeah.
which is remarkable. Also, is Patrick Voss, Freo's TJ McConnell. Heave ho.
Yeah, it probably
Kinda,
is.
yeah, it kind of is. The Thunder won, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, yesterday. They
Bit
won
of a
yesterday.
margin.
Yesterday. They won yesterday. It wasn't much. It was 10 points or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Bailey, could Jez Cameron be the next to kick 1,000 goals? 692 goals already, only 32. Doesn't look like slowing, or am I just being ambitious?
Being
ambitious.
I reckon he gets to about 800,
Yeah, ambitious.
which is still a bloody good effort when you think about it. Mitch, in light with all the nuffies listening to this podcast named Mitch, he's also Mitch.
yeah, lots of
I'll
Mitches.
chime in too. If there is a comp for Dickhead Mitch of the Week, I reckon I could win it. I was committed enough to get a bet on Zave's scribble tattooed on me.
Oh, he does. He's got a tattoo on it. He's got my signature tattooed on him.
I would add my opinion of this weekend of footy, but I honestly didn't watch any of it. It doesn't seem like I missed a lot. Oh, and Rhino, never pay a bet with a mismatched box of mongrel single fin cans. You think cans are hard to find? Try to find a keg of single fin if you live semi-rural southwest.
Really?
Yep. Hey, he's got the tattoo of, so I apologise. He does have a tattoo of my
How
signature.
did that happen?
I said I'd give him a ticket somewhere, I think, from memory.
Ryan, g'day, hard-ons. Thoughts on KD to the Rockets? I like it. Didn't give
that
up
was
a
only
lot.
today.
Didn't give up a heat.
Yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's KD. Oh,
He's just faffing
He's
around
just your
now,
closer.
right?
He's your closer.
we hadn't closed a lot the last few years.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be the guy. He just has
he
to.
hasn't closed much.
Yeah, okay. I like him as a closer.
The only thing that's
But
closed
I want him
is-
playing 28 minutes a night.
Has he won like 2 playoff series in like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, I like the Rockets though.
Yeah, I like the Rockets.
I do like the Rockets. I think they're.
Geez, Jalen Green, he's going to have a bit of trouble coming back from
Good luck, Devin
Oh.
Booker. Good. Who's going to pass the ball? All right, conspiracies. Stepan, I think that's how you say it.
Say it quickly.
Stepan. As a long-term listener, I always enjoyed those moments when Rhino was given a KitKat for good reporting. However, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been a long time since this happened. Whilst this is no doubt due to Rhino enjoying more look-at-me time during interviews, I wonder if there is something more sinister at play. A quick internet search tells me that the rate of inflation for a KitKat worldwide since 2022 is nearly 13%. Pretty steep. Now, if we are to take Big Pepsi at his word, and I do for one, then our small business, White Knight, hasn't received a single payment for years for his Instagram promotions. With few bets coming good, family trips to Rottnest, frivolous spending on trees, sorry, forgot the name.
The crepe myrtle.
The crepe myrtle. I fear Big Pepsi's KitKat budget is being hit by inflation. So it is my assertion that in an effort to protect his wallet from the greed of Nestle, Zave has concocted a slant of Rhino being in the Freo 10 so that any future news breaks can be dismissed as simply using insider knowledge and not working hard enough for a story, thus negating the need for a KitKat. Remember, this is the Gage Rhodes mastermind. Wake up, sheeple. Wake up. Very
I
good.
like that. Hey, just
something
quickly,
there.
what about Rhino dropped a breaking news? Yeah, we went for a KitKat on Friday on Triple M.
Did I?
Yeah, and you went with
State
State of Origin. We'll
I
go
never-
to Perth.
I never called it a breaking story. I never
No,
do that.
you did. You dropped the nugget on us, and then we Googled. Caroline Wilson did the exact details 6 weeks earlier.
I didn't call it a breaking story. I just told you when the game was going to be.
Yeah.
Called it a breaking
and that it's
news.
going
Exclusive.
That we came in with breaking news story.
Yes, you did that.
No,
not
we
me.
did it.
Got an exclusive here, guys.
Exclusive.
Got an
He is
exclusive
exclusive.
I don't keep track of any of that stuff. You guys should be keeping track of the KitKats for me.
Well, it's pretty easy to keep track.
Here you go.
So, okay, look.
Here's the sheet.
Here's another
Yeah.
one. A conspiracy theory for Rhino. This is from a West Coast Eagles supporters forum, and the person who wrote it is Joel Bond. So he's taken a screenshot of this.
Right.
The Earth is definitely round. I'm not 100% convinced the moon landing footage is real, and the Titanic was deliberately sunk for the insurance. But hear me out. Oscar Allen was carried off the field during a game he was clearly not going to win, whilst placing little to no load on his leg. Similar looking injuries usually result in serious Achilles tears. Scans revealed a minor injury, perhaps not an injury that would require you being carried from the field. Are we being fooled into thinking Oscar even had an injury so that he can have his knee surgery and be fit in time for trade talks, or is this a conspiracy?
Well, it's a conspiracy, but if they had concocted that, I thought he shouldn't have been playing anyway. So,
So you're thinking, the thinking from, I think it was Joel, is that it was all set up for Oscar to go down,
Yep.
fake a serious injury,
Carried off.
get carted off,
Clean the
then get
knee
the
up.
scans, then go in for the knee surgery. Everybody's happy because there was a meeting of minds somewhere with Cloak saying this has to end now.
Yeah.
And maybe you were in that meeting with a Cloak.
well,
Maybe.
Maybe.
the Camry. Geez, the Camry pops up a lot now.
Doesn't it?
A lot.
Good Toyota car too.
And
reliable.
that's why I chose the Camry. Camry's a
Needs
good
bit
car.
of a service.
Camry's a good car.
But it'll keep going.
Enjoyed the
Yeah.
first week in the new Prado. It's been very, very
Oh,
nice.
shut up. Toyota WA.
All right, this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show. We'll see you back on Thursday. We're regular Thursdays.
Yes,
for the teams.
Thursdays.
Thursday for the teams. Catch you then.
This episode is brought to you by Woodside Energy, a proud major sponsor of the Fremantle Football Club, supporting local footy from grassroots to greatness.